what we have to look at is that it's the question of ownership. It's not a question of liberalization. I think what you're talking about, ownership. In Canada, where I've had a little bit of relationship, that's where I was educated, the banking system, it says that foreign ownership is about 10%. Maybe now they might have changed it to about 20% of foreign ownership. But that doesn't mean that the banking system is not efficient or competitive. So my point is that let us not hide behind this. When we talk about liberalization, we can have liberalization, look at the ownership structure, right? But in any case, for Africa, why do you fear yourself? I mean, take for EcoBank, as I gave an example, Nigerian banks, right? And let me give you another example about trade. They say we don't talk about private sector. I had the opportunity to go to Malawi, one of the favorite places I like. And I was traveling from Lilongwe to Blantyre. And those of you who know that region very well will know that as you drive towards Blantyre, on one side is Mozambique, and on the other side is Malawi. There's no border. I didn't see a border patrol. I didn't see how, when the car stops, they come from both countries. So integration, yes, you are right, it's about the people. If you leave the Mozambicans on that border, if you leave the Ghanaians along that border, if you leave if you go to Maseru, and you are in Maseru, which is in the heart of South Africa, or Botswana, which is close to South Africa, or if you allow them, it's all about policy. So we are not saying that it's not about the people. Government has a role. The member states have a role. They are the one who formulates the policy. And if you give them the right policy, as Kenya gave to Safaricom, the right policy, Safaricom flourished. And when I gave the instance on the infrastructure, I said telecommunication, out of the $45 billion which is being financed every year on Africa, the private sector is putting down $10 billion to finance its own. It's the private sector. So I believe, my brother, I know that I had to come to, you wrote to me once and I did not respond to you, but we'll have a bilateral. And I promise you that we will help Banjul, because I've been to, Banjul is my second home, you know that. And so we will help you. Now, with the question of trade, for my good sister from Nigeria, look, what we are saying, I work at ECA. I cannot come to Nigeria and infect policy. It's the member states that have to do that. But all that we advocate for is let trade be part of your policy agenda. Don't do a budget allocation that will put 10%. But let everybody know. If you go, you know very well, the traders, who we do not mention, take Ethiopian Airways anytime. Take Ethiopian Airlines anytime. How many Nigerians you find on the plane? Where are they going? They're going to Guangzhou, they're going to all the places. And they are bringing what? They are trading. If you give the right policy to them when they get back with their goods, and you don't tax them so heavily, you get more trade. But if we are saying, instead of going to far away Guangzhou, go to Joburg, go to Botswana, go to Ghana, which is a nice place to be anyway, or go to Banjul and trade.
Or Nairobi.
Or Nairobi, yes, yeah. So that to me, it is important. Yeah. So this is where, so liberalization has to be cautious. We have to do it. We should allow. It's just a question of the ownership structure that you have to look. But for Africans moving into another African, if a Ghanaian company wants to come to Ethiopia, please allow the Ghanaian company to come. If Ethiopians, you're open to business anywhere, let's open up. Let's open up. We hide behind security. Please don't tell Mr. Jani that. We hide behind the security.
But Dr. Joe, what about our sister, our Tunisian sister over there whose passport is still at immigration?
Well, I said that. I'm the one who raised this question on the visa, okay? I'm not targeting my beautiful country, this country that I live in. It's not Ethiopia that always puts restrictions on visa. I wish you can get your visa as you walked in as an African, you present your passport. I went to another African country, which I don't want to mention, and I put my visa that I was going for a meeting. They gave me 5 days. I asked the guy, am I not in Africa? This is Africa. He says, no. 5 days. Can you believe that? So, I mean, it's not only Ethiopia, but we are just saying, in general, when you go to the Schengen places, you get one visa, you go to how many countries?
A dozen plus.
Nobody even bothers to check you. Nobody bothers to ask you a question about it. Yeah. But in Africa, you try and get a visa. Some countries even Anyway, let me stop here before I'm
Dr.
driven out
Karimi.
of this country.
Go ahead, Dr. Karim. Professor Karim.